Welcome to the podcast where I talk about what really shapes our health, not just our habits, but our mindset. I'm April, a health and weight loss coach who is on my own journey to lose weight, rebuild confidence, and most importantly, change the way I think about myself and my goals. Each week, I will talk about the real challenges of weight loss, the ups, the downs, and the powerful roles our thoughts and approach play in transforming our bodies and our lives. Whether you're just getting started, feeling stuck, or ready to level up your results, this is a space for real talk and a reminder that change always comes from within. So take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let's get into it. Happy New Year to everybody. And this week, I'm going to talk about what vacation weight loss teaches us about self care. So, with the new year, you're hearing a lot of people talk about weight loss goals for the year and how to get there. And I want to talk about how self care will help you get there and how vacation sometimes can show us how that actually does work. So, maybe not every vacation, but think of a time that you were on vacation. I know I have experienced it where I've gone on vacation and I've eaten foods that I normally don't eat. I feel like I ate more than I normally eat. Maybe I had a little bit more wine and I came back to a loss. And I was like, how did that even happen? And the way it happens is because vacation isn't necessarily a mystery, but it is care and it is self care. It's taking time for ourselves and the way we change how we treat ourselves, right? So, day to day, we are in full go mode typically. There's a lot of life stress. We're not necessarily sleeping as well. We're not taking time to eat. So when you're on vacation, you have to think about what is that vacation like? Are you moving more? Most likely. Are you taking time to eat your meal instead of rushing through the meal? Are you talking with people that you're with, family or friends? Are you possibly not snacking as much because you're on the move more and you have more activities going on? Are you resting more, getting more sleep? Are you not stressed out about day to day life? Because, hey, you're on vacation. So your body recognizes that stress, and especially with women, the increase of hormones that stress brings about, that does play a role on how our body reacts to weight loss when we're trying to achieve that. So we're also more present on vacation. Like I was talking about the meals, they slow down. We sit, we talk, we taste our food. We're really getting full enjoyment of the food. And we're eating foods most likely that we're just choosing to eat because we want them, not because we're thinking we have to eat this or we can't eat that. So the judgment's not there. You're just in full enjoyment mode. You're taking the time to enjoy it, to have more mindfulness around it. And all of these factors play into it. So the the real thought behind this is that not that weight loss on vacation is about, yes, that's when you're escaping your life, that's why it can happen, but it's about you're feeling safe and rested and cared for and just appreciating life without getting so caught up in all of the do this, don't do that, this has to be done, this can't wait. So, of course, life is real, right? So, it's not about necessarily how do I lose weight, but maybe take the lessons of vacation and experience of where do I need more care in my daily life. I look back to my own weight gain in 2025 and I see a lot on online about so many people posting about how much weight they gained in 2025. I have friends commenting on it. I'm part of that, so I can empathize. And at the same time, when I was thinking about that today, when I was seeing all of the posts and getting texts from friends and myself, I feel like it's such a huge neon alert sign that we are not taking care of ourselves. We are not prioritizing us. And although when I talk about vacation, and I think immediately, because I know my thought is, well, of course, life can't be vacation every day, and it cannot, but we can work on incorporating some of those experiences into our day to day life, care for ourselves a little bit more, work in a little bit more sleep and rest, work in taking time for a meal and being more mindful with the meal, choosing foods that we truly want to eat and enjoy, not necessarily the foods that somebody's dictating to us that are right to eat versus what is not right to eat, or whatever the case may be with the food choices you're making. But really think about those things for your choices, and each day is going to look different. And if we're more in tune with making a goal and writing down our intention for the day, then we can maybe think about how we can incorporate those vacation experiences into day-to-day life. For example, more rest. We know, and there's studies and articles, that sleep is so important to recovery in the body, feeling rested. You make better food choices, better health choices, you have more energy to do more movement. So that could be the first step. Work on getting more rest, trying to go to bed earlier, maybe turning off your phones or your TV. Maybe that's the time that you take 10 to 15 minutes before you want to go to bed and journal or read a book or just listen to music or just sit in silence, meditate, anything that you feel you would enjoy doing that would help you kind of wind down for your rest for the night to sleep and get more of that for yourself. Mindfulness of food. There's so many things on the vacation that I talked about that makes a difference in our day-to-day life. And I've talked about it before. Let's not try to get all of them fixed in one week, but let's think about, what do you feel like when I talk about it that you're like, yeah, I do think that made a difference for me. Was it more rest? Was it that you took time to eat during your meal? You chose the foods you wanted to eat instead of what you thought was the right thing to eat. More movement, less stress. Um, any of those things that you could start to work on, and it's not going to change in one week. You want to pick something that you can work on that over the course of a month, maybe, that you make small changes to get to a point where you're noticing that that's making an impact for you. So if it is sleep, and say you go to bed normally at 10, and you're like, I think I could probably go to bed a little earlier. That would help me. Start with 15 minutes earlier. Start your bedtime routine a little earlier and work that way. And when 9:45 becomes super easy and you're ready to go to bed at that time, then maybe you can work on backing it to 9:30. However, you feel it's approachable for you to increase that. Maybe it's a nap, a 20-minute nap on the weekends if you have that time. I know that I like to fit in a nap. My husband, Kevin, enjoys a nap on the weekends. And I will tell you, after a nap, you wake up and it's like, oh, I'm ready to go again. You want to think about your lifestyle and what you can incorporate into it that's going to be inviting to you. So if you feel like your sleep is good, and that's not necessarily something that's any different when you're on vacation, maybe it's the food quality that you're choosing foods that you want to eat, and that's giving you true enjoyment, true satisfaction. You're talking more through your meals, you're drinking more water through the meal. You might be putting your fork down more because you're talking more. You can work on that. And again, don't say every meal I'm going to take 20 minutes to eat the meal and talk and put down my fork, and start with one meal. Choose a meal that you know is the easiest, right? So for me, I feel like dinner would be the easiest because I eat that at home versus my lunch that's at work. So I would start with putting down my fork more, drinking more in between bites, having conversation with my husband. I mean, we do talk, but dinner does tend to go a little quicker and not as much conversation because we're kind of like wanting to get into our living room routine of watching TV and just chilling that way. But these are just examples. Again, you want to think about your lifestyle, what would be helpful for you. And it could be movement. I know that I tend to walk a lot more when I'm on vacation. Definitely when I'm in Florida and we go to Disney. When I go to Norway to see my brother, we walk pretty much everywhere. We don't necessarily drive to most places. We're walking and we're taking public transportation. Even when I go to Maine with my husband's family, we walk more. It's just natural. You're wanting to walk places. You're wanting to see the town you're visiting. So possibly start on the weekends or whenever you have more time during your week, you could pick a local town and walk in a town that you haven't visited in your area, or just think of a way that it could be more inviting to you and maybe even more fun just to get you going. It doesn't always have to be a gym or in your basement or in your house. There's so many different ways to make it exciting, and it doesn't have to be far. I know for me, if I drove 10, 15 minutes, there's a walkway near the water that I could do that. Push your mind to think about outside of your stressful day and what would be fun to you to make you want to do these things for yourself. So that's really my message for this week, is to think about vacation mindset and how the stress decreases because we're giving better care to our bodies. We're giving the rest, we're giving the joy of being with people we love and just enjoying them, not necessarily thinking about every chore we have to do. So invite a little bit of that into your life, whether it's once a week or however you can obtain it right away. But this week, think about that. How can you give yourself some of that? And again, pick one, start with one, work on that. If you want help with that, as always, you can email me at coach April at wakeupwilling.com. That's the email. And I invite anybody to write in, or you can, of course, comment on the videos or anything like that. That will help get in touch with me as well. But I'm more than happy to help. You can always Google ideas. You can Google articles. There's so many things out there happening right now about weight loss for the new year and what workout routines and what diet plans or what food plans. But I really do believe that if you are a person who has gained weight in 2025 and you're here and you're wanting to lose weight this year, really look at how you take care of yourself during the year, during the day, during the hour, and how can you give yourself more care and time for yourself to feel taken care of, and your body will then feel in a state of being able to lose weight easier. I hope this is helpful. If it was, please share with anybody that you think might get use from this podcast. And as always, I will be here next week to help us continue a conversation that will help us move forward. And remember to wake up willing to do something that feels good to you. Have a great week. Bye.